First, a word to everyone who is, well, not necessarily old, but just slightly less young. And then we'll have a word for our boys and girls. And if you're interested this afternoon at 12:05, we'll have our younger kids for a service as well. There won't be communion, but we will have ashes and Bible readings, and we'll talk about all of this as well. Years ago, there was a little girl who really loved her grandpa. She loved visiting Grandpa. And when she visited Grandpa, she was particularly struck that Grandpa had a whole bunch of hourglasses. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but you turn it over and the sand starts flowing through until all the sand is at the bottom, often has been used as a timer. And she would notice how her grandpa's hourglasses were different sizes and shapes, and sometimes she liked turning them all over at once and seeing which ones ran out first. And once she asked Grandpa, she said, "Grandpa, why do you have so many hourglasses?" And he said, "They remind me that the most precious thing of all is time. And as the sand goes through the timer, the hourglass, it reminds me that there is only a limited amount of time that I have on earth. And it reminds me that I want to be sure and to live well these precious hours I have. They're like the grains of the sand going through the hourglass." Now, little girl hadn't seen Grandpa for some weeks for some reason. She didn't know what was going on other than Mom said Grandpa was sick. He was in the hospital. And she said he got sicker and that he might even die. And she said, "Mom, what does that mean to die?" And Mom said, "Well, there's that part of us which can live and feel and love and think, and that lives forever. But the part of us that lives on earth, that part we leave behind." And she said it's like that, like those hourglasses that Grandpa has, where she goes, I don't think Grandpa has much more time in his hourglass. I don't think he'll be with us much longer on earth. She said, "We're going to go see him tomorrow." She said, "Okay, I'm going to make him a present." So she got to work on her present, and they went to visit Grandpa in the hospital, and he looked really sick. And she gave him the gift that she had put together, and he unwrapped it and opened it up. And he smiled. He knew immediately what she was doing and thinking, because inside the box, she had put sand. She wanted to be able to give Grandpa more life, more time on earth by giving him more sand. It's a very sweet thing, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for anybody. There is for each of us only a certain amount of time that we have on earth. And we're reminded of that today when we receive ashes on our foreheads. And we will be given the reminder, these words, "Remember that you are dust, and unto dust you shall return." Today the church reminds us that, we do not know how much sand is left in our hourglasses as well. And when we remember that, it reminds us that some things are more important than others. Because when the days draw near and there's only a little bit of sand left in our hourglasses, no one has ever said to me, and I've been at many of a bedside of a dying person, "Gosh, I just wish I had gotten to that next level of Minecraft." Well, they don't really care about that, or about who won that argument in politics, or how clean the kitchen was, or many things that we get worked up about, but that don't really last. And so it's a reminder this day for us, what does last? What remembers? What really lasts? What really matters to us? And we are reminded that our days are like the precious grains of a sand. Remember that you are dust, and unto dust you shall return. And the way I'll put it to the little ones this afternoon, guess when the most important time of our life is? You know, I'll tell you, it is always now, not someday. Oh, maybe when I get older or when I this, then I'll start doing this. Then I'll start being kind, or then I'll start praying more, or then I'll start being careful to enjoy the people in my life while I have them. Boys and girls, there are plenty of people who are a little bit older now who would say, don't wait to do that. Now is the time to be kind. Now is the time to get close to Jesus. Now is the time to love our families and our friends. These days matter. I hope everybody here has plenty of time still in their hourglasses. All I know is, I don't know. And now is what truly matters.